Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings, wherever you are on planet Earth. I hope you're having a fabulous day today. The sun is shining here in Spain and the cat is out of the bag. That's my nickname actually, Cat. That the surprise guest tonight on the live will be the wonderful and hilarious Daniel Boland. I'm in awe and I can't understand why, firstly, he hasn't got 100,000 subscribers. I can't understand why he doesn't have 1 million subscribers. So I'm really hoping that he gets to 100,000. He's nearly there. So that's going to be awesome. And I think one of the things that Daniel and I have in common is our masochistic fascination with this book of Sparries. So I'm sure that subject's going to come up. And I was reading a little section in this, actually. I mean, every time I think, no, there's nothing else in it, something else comes to mind, and I think, oh yeah, I remember that bit. And this one is, to me, it's really extraordinary because Harry's describing having a very heated telephone conversation with William while he's sitting in the gardens of Frogmore, which is at Windsor, which is in the flight path of Heathrow. And my husband, who's a pilot, has often said, it must be awful to be under the flight path at Heathrow. But I don't know if Harry's ever noticed that before writing this book. Maybe Harry didn't write this part of the book. Someone who's never been there did. And it's quite a short bit, but like William's yelling at him down the phone. And he says, in a blink he shifted all his rage onto me. I can't recall his exact words because I was beyond tired from all our fighting, to say nothing of the recent move into Frogmore and into the new offices. And I was focused on the imminent birth of our first child. But I recall every physical detail of the scene. The daffodils were out, the new grass sprouting, a jet taking off from Heathrow, heading west, unusually low, its engines making my chest vibrate. I remember thinking how remarkable that I could still hear Willie above the jet. I couldn't imagine how he had that much anger left after the confrontation at Knockcott, at Dog Bowl Gate. I can imagine William's frustration and anger. I can, like he's not being listened to. He was going on, and I lost the thread. I couldn't understand. I stopped trying. I fell silent, waiting for him to subside. Then I looked back. Meg was coming from the house directly towards me. I quickly took the phone off speaker, but she'd already heard, and Willie was being so loud. Even with the speaker off, she could still hear. Tears in her eyes glistened in the spring sunshine. I started to say something, but she stopped, shook her head. Holding her stomach, she turned and walked back to the house. I can imagine. I can see the whole scene there. But what stuns me is that he just noticed the one jet going over from Heathrow. Just the one jet, unusually low. Why? Why would it be? There's a flight path. It's, well, anyone out there who's a pilot will know. What the hell's he talking about? Is he boxed off his face so much that he never really noticed them? Oh, God. Right, and also I'd like to say a big thank you to the lovely Rhea Snakespeare, who sent me a link to an article which is from back in January this year, about, I think it's her MP, Bob Seeley, and it's in The Guardian. And I'm very proud of The Guardian for printing this. As you all know, I'm not that much of a Guardian reader, and it has frustrated the hell out of me the last few years that they've just bought into the fact that Markle is a liberal. She's the furthest thing from liberal-minded as far as I can see. More like dictator, do as I say, not as I do type person. But it's headed, and I'll put a link in the description to this one. Tory MP bill aims to stop the powerful using the law to stifle public debate. Very good. Like orchestrated, paid-for campaigns by robots and maybe people like the Sugars and troll farms to artificially give the illusion that someone is more popular than they are, that the general consensus of opinion is for them as opposed to against them. In other words, rich, powerful and famous people, whether they be politicians, oligarchs, whoever they may be, he wants to stop them from suppressing free speech from people and critics such as myself and you guys. And I say, bloody well done, and I hope it goes through. So I offer him full support on that. Anyway, I can't be too long on this because Graham has to go and do a dolphin trip, and I've been using his phone, and which he needs to take with him, apparently, to go find the dolphins. So I hope you all have a fabulous day. See you tonight at 10 o'clock Spanish time and 9 o'clock UK time. And I think a few of you guys had already commented how that works out. I think in America that works out somewhere around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and Australia 8 o'clock in the morning the next day, something like that. Isn't it amazing that we can all communicate on planet Earth from all these different places? I think that's wonderful, and I salute the great Sir Tim Berners-Lee. I know it's contentious that the internet was born out of a few other things, but generally speaking, he is accepted as the father inventor of the World Wide Web, the net. So isn't that marvellous? And I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much for listening.